Okay, so welcome to the Wine and Wellness Week, Spring Fling 2015 edition. My name is Jamie Dorley. I'm filling in to do the workshop on stress and sleep. So you guys are at the right place, right?
Yeah.
Has everyone been to a Wellness Week before? Looks like some new faces. Who's been here before? Okay, so the rest of you, this is the first time, right? So welcome. We do the Wellness Weeks 5 times a year. They're about every 2 months. If you get on our website and you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get emailed in advance of the event and then the schedule too. You can also call the office. Usually about every other month we'll have the schedule. So the next event will be in July, then we do September, then the end of November. So this is the second of 5 for the year. We also do them at other natural healthcare professionals' offices. So if you work with some other natural doctors and they want to have a wellness event, just have them contact us. So the idea of the Wellness Week is that we want you to have a positive wellness experience, right? So maybe you try some healthy free food, you come to a workshop, you get some free testing done, you talk to a healthcare professional, you pick up some free literature, and if you buy anything during the Wellness Week, everything's on sale. So it's a pretty good deal, right?
Yeah.
So what do you guys need to do? Just need to show up and then bring somebody with you. That's all. And that way we can keep having the events. And if you need any help, and you have a health challenge going on, schedule with one of the healthcare professionals. I was just talking with someone with a torn rotator cuff. So we can give you some supplements for that, but you need to meet with the doctors also. So the great thing about natural health is you usually get very good results. And once you're healthy, what's the goal?
Maintain it.
Exactly, maintain, right? So I tell my kids the best time to clean your room is when it's clean.
It's partially clean, right?
Right.
Right.
So the best time to take care of yourself is when you're healthy. However, you may have some health challenges from time to time. We have a crisis or an accident or a trauma, that's where you need to go the conventional medical route until you're stabilized. Once you're stabilized, you got to get out of that system. And you're going to look at lifestyle. So your diet, with the food you're eating, your stress levels, your activity, right? Sleep, and customized nutritional support is vital and imperative to your health and your success. Anyone see any documentaries on health? There's a new one called Fed Up with Katie Couric. It's a pretty good one. You guys saw that? No? Yes? That's a good one. Super Size Me, of course. Food Inc., Forks Over Knives. So the idea is to educate yourself so that you can understand what's going on, because the food has become sick in our country. There's too many products, there's too many chemicals in it, too much sugar. So what's happened now is it's affected not only the way our body functions, but also our moods, right? Well, why is that? Well, one is your brain burns about 25% of all your calories each day, your energy. Do you guys know that? You do now. 25% of all your energy is burned by your brain. So if you're feeling down, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling moody, you're feeling angry, chances are your brain doesn't have the right nutrients in it. They'll say you have a chemical imbalance, right? However, you got to realize what can you take and what can you use to rebuild the chemicals in your brain. So all the neurotransmitters have building blocks, and we need to make sure we incorporate those in our program. Plus, you're going to look at what are some toxins that may be affecting mood. One of the biggest culprits is artificial sweeteners. So we all learned about, I saw some elbows in the audience. Well, as long as you know that they're affecting your health, that's our job's done, right? The great thing about natural health is it works when you take personal responsibility and you do the right thing. You shouldn't feel like you're punished. You should feel fortunate that you got this knowledge and this education, because now you can make an informed, educated decision. You still may make the wrong one, but as long as you know. So Coca-Cola recently released that they are doing away with what in their Diet Coke? Anyone hear about this? Aspartame? You guys hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
So that's good, right?
Yeah, but what are they?
Yeah. Well, what are the other two nutrients right? Or nutrients? What are the other two artificial sweeteners right behind it?
Fructose?
Nope.
No.
Sucralose, which is 98% sugar, 2% ammonia. Not a good idea.
Brain.
And the next one is called aspartame potassium. Those two are worse than the aspartame, but people know about aspartame. So now they can say aspartame free, not artificial flavoring free. And that creates a lot of anxiety. So if you have nervousness, you have anxiety, you're doing artificial sweeteners, it's a good idea to get rid of them. The other thing it does is promotes a lot of issues with diabetes because it tells your brain, here comes something sweet. So when you have those drinks, usually within 30 to 60 minutes, you'll be really hungry. So what we'll look at today, the goal is that you're going to learn some strategies for diet, your food you got to eat. Yes?
Doesn't that fructose, I've heard a lot of stuff about that, makes you fat for some reason.
Fructose?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sugar. Yeah. So the sugar goes high, we have high insulin, and then we have what? Stored fat. Okay? So metabolically, our metabolism isn't high or low. You either store fat or you burn fat.
Yeah,
So-
fructose is a combination of glucose and fructose. But they must store the fructose, huh? They must store it more. Glucose your body burns, you know.
Well, if it's too much of it, you will store it. So realize this, when you have high blood sugar, write this down. High blood sugar equals high, what does your pancreas produce? Insulin equals fat storage,
Equals fat.
high cravings, and low energy. If you balance blood sugar, yeah, store fat, no energy, and increase cravings. If that's how you want to feel, go for it. If you balance blood sugar, you'll have fat burning, so you feel a lot of energy. You won't have any cravings at all, and you don't store fat. That's why the Super Shake and Super Shake Plus for breakfast is fantastic. Why? It won't raise your blood sugar.
It's heavier.
Anyone hear of the Atkins diet? Remember Dr. Atkins, Robert Atkins? Yeah. So he was way ahead of his time. Now he's an extremist, right? Most pioneers are. But what was the whole concept of his diet? No sugar.
No sugar, no white flour.
Well, it's protein and fat, right? But it's no sugar. To an extreme where he would tell some people, don't even eat fruit, don't even eat vegetables. Because without sugar, you won't elevate insulin. So even when people were eating high protein and high fat on a diet, what happened? They would lose weight. Now, it's a good quick fix, but long term, over time, they incorporated more and more veggies in it and greens. That's what we're talking about, is balancing the blood sugar, because it's become more and more of a problem. But you can have a lot of different stress. You may be the person that's stressed and wired and can't relax. Maybe you use a lot of nicotine or caffeine or sugar. You know, they're running all over the place, right? You may be stressed and tired, like you're so stressed you want to sleep. No matter how many hours a night you sleep, you're still tired in the morning. You can be stressed and hot, we have a lot of stomach issues, right? Stressed and cold, maybe thyroid. So you have all these different things. And the biggest one we see is disturbed sleep and mood. How many hours a week should you be sleeping? So yeah, figure 8 hours, you know, it's about 50 hours a week, right? No? You said 8 hours a night.
4 hours a day, night.
Well, you should be sleeping about 50 hours a week. I'm not asking how many you do, I'm saying how many should you be doing? Say 7 a night, that's 49 a week. So 50 hours a week about you should be sleeping. How many hours a week do you spend eating? Maybe 10. And then you want to spend how many hours a week exercising? At least 5. They're saying 7 hours a week now of activity or workout. So what's the most important part of those three? 50 hours a week, the 10, or the 7? The 50. You got to sleep. That's where you recover, you repair. All your hormones are built at night. That's where all your detoxification occurs and your repair occurs. So if you're not sleeping, it's difficult to be in a good mood. So if you have anxiety during the day, we have something called Calm Day. That's excellent for focus, mood, right? It incorporates a couple key nutrients that help with, you know what neurotransmitters are? Brain chemicals, right? We've all heard of serotonin and dopamine. That's pain and pleasure, right? So dopamine and serotonin levels have to be balanced out. If they are not, you're told you have a chemical imbalance and you need a medication. However, we know that when these are out of balance, you can have issues with stress, sleep, anxiety, cognitive function, focus. And the nice thing is that Calm Day works very quick for people. So you don't need to be on it for 6 months. You can start out with a small 8-count bottle or a 60-count bottle. It's hard to get results for it right away. So here's what's in there, some key nutrients in this. But the thing to realize with Nutritional Frontiers is we're going to give you more combination, comprehensive formulas. Therefore, you get better results. Why do you get better results? Because it's more comprehensive, and it's easier to take one formula than it is to take 4 or 5 things, right? And then it's the best value because you get everything in one, and then you get a nice discount. So much better value overall. But it has some really cool, complete amino acids like taurine, glycine, GABA, B5 and B6. So the B5 and B6 work very good for adrenals and stress also. So this is an ingredient from Russia called phenybute. You guys ever heard of GABA? Anyone heard of GABA? Yeah. So GABA gives the musculoskeletal system relaxation. The phenybute, which your body converts into GABA, will actually cross the blood-brain barrier and help balance out dopamine and serotonin. So it doesn't just work on the calming effect of the muscle, but it helps rebalance some of the brain nutrients to help you with anxiety, stress, some of these things we talked about. It's actually been studied for ability to prevent the negative effects of sleep. So even though the Calm Day won't put you to sleep, it'll help you sleep better at night. So if you're anxious, you're wired, you're stressed, you're forgetful, you're not having good focus or productivity, look at doing something like the Calm Day. Glycine is a great amino acid. You may have heard of magnesium glycinate before. Has anyone heard of that? That's where they take magnesium and they bind it to glycine, a protein. Well, that makes it very large, though. So sometimes you look at those magnesium, they're absorbed like a protein. Does that make sense why we want to recommend those? But nice thing with glycine, it can help with, most importantly, improve the sleep quality. So Calm Day and sleep time, which we're going to get into in a minute, are great because they help you not only fall asleep, but they will also help you with your quality of sleep. So if you're a tosser and a turner all night, right, this will help you sleep more soundly throughout the night. Another amino acid is taurine. It's a GABA receptor agonist, meaning it produces a GABA-like effect in the body. And that's, again, calming, sedating. Nice thing is it helps relax you without making you tired.
It's in a lot of energy drinks, I've noticed.
Excuse me?
It's in a lot of energy drinks.
What is?
I think
Taurine? Yeah.
but it's supposed to be good for your heart, too.
Taurine is very good for a lot of body systems and a lot of different organs. Brain, heart, liver, they all require taurine.
They put in energy drinks.
Excuse me?
Why are they putting energy drinks in?
Well, they'll use a lot of these amino acids because the amino acids they're all helping with brain function. So the idea of the energy drink is it wants to give the brain more energy. Because when most people are tired, they're mentally tired. So they use B vitamins, right? So to help with stress, help with endurance, help with energy, that's why. And then B vitamins, especially the B5 and B6, they're involved in nerve transmission, regeneration, neurotransmitter synthesis. So what does that mean? The neurotransmitters are chemicals in the brain to make you feel good. You can't build them without B vitamins. So one of the first nutrients you can use is either Calm Day or the Super B Complete. I take the Super B Complete every day. It's great for focus, mental energy, production, problem solving, memory. So B vitamins are vital because they're water soluble. We burn them up quickly, right? And how much of our, how you doing? How much of your total energy every day does your brain burn up? 25%. Okay? So you need to give nutrients to the brain to be able to function. And one of the best things to do is B vitamins. Why? They build all the chemicals in the brain which make us think better. We also use B6, so a B5, B6 combination in this. We use the activated form, it's called P5P. So that B vitamins have to be in an activated form, if not your body doesn't utilize them well. So we use these in an activated form, the B6, which is also called P5P. So you can start with 1 cap in the morning, maybe 1 cap in the evening. You should feel it within a few days. If you don't, double the dose, wait a week. And usually if you're not getting results by 4 capsules, we got to look at maybe something's better, yes?
I have a question about the bees. I always thought that you need to have a complete bee and you shouldn't take, just individual bees because there's not a complete bee in that Calm Day, you should also be taking out the complete bee.
That's what I mentioned. It's called Super B Complete. Yeah. Now, those two, B5 and B6, are stress and adrenal related, but you need all Bs, right? So that's why I said maybe this and B. Why don't we have them combined? Because some people just want just the B. Okay. Great question. Another one we have is control. So if you have stress, anxiety, cravings, and you wanted more support, then control would be the one to recommend. Is this different than what you have in your hand? No?
I'm not finding it. Maybe I'm a few pages behind.
Oh, no, it's right there. Yep.
Okay.
A lot of people use this as trying to get off of drugs or alcohol, medications. They had a history of those things, especially eating. If you crave a lot of food, you may need control. This is similar to the Calm Day, but a little bit different. Anyone used theanine before? No? Theanine, L-theanine. A lot of people use that if they get anxious or nervous. That's in there. And then we have tryptophan, which is real good amino acid. Rhodiola, which is good for the adrenals and for stress. So nice formula, very good for weight loss also. Gonna fast forward a little bit because of time. So here's some of the problems we know, right? Can't fall asleep. Once you're asleep, you wake up, you toss and turn, you gotta get up to use the restroom, you have nightmares, night sweats, hot flashes, whatever it may be. And then the next day, how do you feel? Yeah. And what do? Well, you gotta go work, or you gotta go play, you got the kids, the grandkids, you're traveling. Yeah, coffee, right? Starbucks. I never thought we'd pay $5 for a cup of coffee.
My own coffee.
Okay. Well, Starbucks is always packed when I drive by. So even if you brew your own coffee, I always say a little bit before a workout may be okay, but it's a stimulant. So it affects blood sugar, right? If you're putting cream in there or artificial sweeteners, that could affect mood. And some people may use stimulants like caffeine and nicotine instead of eating. So not a good idea. They say about 60 million Americans suffer from some type of disturbed sleep. You also have the stress of, people trying to do so much these days. Technology, I thought, would allow us to work from anywhere, but not require us to work from everywhere. Right? That's what's happened. So God forbid you're at church or you're in the gym or whatever you're doing with friends or family. People expect you to be on all the time. So sometimes it's liberating. I know you got emergencies and things like that, but maybe not have that phone on all the time where you're constantly checking it, right? I have to for work, but sometimes it's nice, where you don't have that, added stress, especially on a weekend, right? Or Mother's Day yesterday. So a lot of the medications they're recommending can be very addictive and disrupt the performance. So Valium, you know why Valium was originally used? As an anesthesia for surgery. Right? Yeah, knock you out. Yeah. So be careful with that one, especially if you're driving. Some of the other ones, Ambien, sleep. What I found from looking at the research very closely, it doesn't actually improve the REM sleep, which is the sleep cycle, the rapid eye movement where you dream and drool, right? But what it does is it affects your memory. So your brain is just shut down. You don't know if you're up or not or asleep. What's that?
Doctors recommend it.
Of course they do. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma was on that, and she had severe, over 10 years she was taking it, she had like severe mental decline.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
got her off of it, and it's completely improved.
Wow, it's very impressive.
It was really bad.
So see that?
Yeah.
You have to look. Some medications you need to keep you alive, insulin, Ambien for sleep, probably not the best thing. They know it affects, and he's telling us now about his grandma who went downhill, and they take the medication away, and then she improves, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. So you got to watch these medications when they blindly recommend them to you. Read the insert. Do your homework. Ask them if there's something better. Has there been a medication on the market longer? Can I try something natural first? Can I look at my diet? See what else you can do. But these all have a lot of side effects. So neurotransmitters are the chemicals in the brain. The biggest thing I want you to remember, what builds neurotransmitters? Not vitamin A, but vitamin what? B. Okay? So write this down. B vitamins build neurotransmitters, which are brain chemicals, serotonin and dopamine. B vitamins build those. So if you're going to make cookies, you get chocolate chips and sugar and flour, and right? If you're going to make neurotransmitters, you get B vitamins and you build them. When you use your brain to problem solve, to drive, to talk, to sleep, right? When you use your brain, you burn up B vitamins. So you need to replenish them. And what do most people do when they're stressed? Sugar, caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, which all what? Deplete B vitamins more. So here's the natural sleep cycle. You have a light sleep, intermediate, deep, and then the REM. You can tell when you're sleeping really good, you dream and drool, right? You wake up, it doesn't mean you always drool, but sometimes you, especially if you take a nap. But if you have that deep sleep where you're dreaming and you complete your sleep cycles, you feel much better when you're done, right? If you're waking up constantly or you never get into the deep sleep, you don't really get the good quality you need. So here's one of my favorite formulas because I don't sleep as well as I used to. But when I take the sleep time, I do really well.
Is that melatonin?
It's in the sleep time. No, it's in there.
It can also pull the mood down the next day
What's that?
if you have depression. Melatonin.
If you what?
It can pull the mood down the next day.
Pull the mood down the next day?
People have depression.
We don't see that a lot. If somebody's depressed though, I'm gonna have B vitamins, I'm gonna have other things in them. But I don't see melatonin where it affects mood like that. Usually it's very positive. But a doc says anything can cause anything, right? The nice thing is we don't overdo it to melatonin, but when you put it in a formula like this, you have everything that you need.
But you say the sleep time is better than just melatonin.
I'm sorry, question?
Sleep time better than
It has melatonin in it.
just taking
Yeah.
melatonin.
Yes, because it has Calm Day plus melatonin and 5-HTP. Yeah.
How many milligrams of melatonin
It's 3 milligrams per 2 capsules.
per 2 capsules?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like to recommend sleep time by starting with 1, about an hour before bedtime. If that doesn't work, the next night try 2. Yes. Yeah. The only person I know that needed 5, one person, but then once you go with the higher dosage, then you can start lowering it. The nice thing about the sleep time is most people don't need it every night. One of my clients actually says, oh, I use it 3 or 4 days a week on my real late days when it's hard to get to sleep because I'm wired from work still. But he takes 1.
And it keeps you asleep.
Yes.
You don't wake up 20 times.
No. So it helps you fall asleep and the quality of sleep. So the dose on this is going to be 1 to 4 capsules. And you can do that about an hour before bed. So you can use the Calm Day and the sleep time together. So if you're real anxious during the day and you need some sleep support, take the Calm Day with the sleep time. I like to add in the Super B Complete because the B vitamins are vital. I mean, they're so imperative to your health and your mood because they rebuild the neurotransmitters. Take care, guys. Thanks. So remember that.
So in the Calm Day, are you overlapping with the 5-HTP or any of the others?
No, because HCP you generally want to take at night.
Right. For the Calm Day, you can take, of course, during the day.
Yes. It doesn't have melatonin or HTP in it. No.
5-HTP.
Yeah. So the Calm Day can be taken during the day. It'll help you sleep better at night, but it's not a sleeping, like a sleeping pill, right? So a very simple protocol would be B vitamins as a foundation, Super B Complete, and then take sleep time or Calm Day, whatever you need on top of that. But the Super B is really the foundation. And there we go. We keep talking about it. The great thing is we have the active ingredients in the Super B. We have the active B6, which is called P5P, active B12, which is called methylcobalamin, active folic acid, which is called methyl tetrahydrofolate, and now we even have in this DMG in the Super B.
Can you tell the difference if you don't take one during the day or?
Which one?
Or the B complex. Yeah, the Super B. You say
If I don't take it for a day or 2 or 3, I start to notice it. Yeah.
you get what, tired or what?
Maybe you don't feel as sharp, as productive. You can get, the thing with vitamins, especially really good vitamins, is it's not always the blast that you get from it. It's you notice when you don't use them. Because you start, you look and say, why am I tired? Or how come I'm not sleeping as good? Or how come I'm not as productive? And how come I'm, not as good with my recall? Oh, maybe I got to take my Bs again, right? So what I've done with my program is I've shortened the list down, and I've increased the dosage. So I'm getting enough of the right things in, and B vitamins is foundation for me.
Pro colors don't have that much in them, huh?
No, it's just naturally occurring. Those are more fruits and veggie antioxidants.
So is the L-theanine in either one of the evening?
L-theanine,
Yeah.
that's in control. Yep. So this is the active vitamins I was talking about. By active, I mean your body can absorb these at a much greater rate. And we all know the importance of folic acid, right, ladies? If you guys were ever had children, the doc would give you folic acid to help prevent birth defects. So next time a doctor says or a friend says, there's nothing to those vitamins, there's no research. Have you ever heard of folic acid from the medical doctor? Does the medical doctor ever prescribe prenatal vitamins? Yes. Do they actually prescribe vitamin D now? Yes. Are they prescribing omega-3s? Yes. Probiotics? Yes. So they do, even the most conventional docs, use some nutritional therapies. Yeah, B12 shots, right?
I take the supplement. I take it liquid.
take it first thing in the morning, you be a complex.
I like taking it with breakfast and maybe lunch, but not after lunch. Yeah, early part of the day for B vitamins. Some people are very sensitive to Bs. Even taking them early in the day, they still may not be able to sleep at night. Usually for them, we got to do a detox program so that they're processing the Bs better. But I did have one client a long time ago that no matter what, she couldn't do B vitamins. So we have the new and improved formula with the DMG and the quadrifolic acid. So DMG, dimethylglycine, you probably heard us talk about that before. DMG is great in the body, and it was originally looked at from its research and called vitamin B15. There you go, you're on top of it. Are you in school or something for this?
No, I just like to research this.
So I learn all the time. You guys are getting really sharp, I'll tell you. So DMG, pangamic acid, vitamin B15. It makes the B vitamins work better, and the B vitamins make it work better. It's pretty cool. So we add it to the Super B. And then if somebody wants melatonin by itself, we have it by itself. You get asked about melatonin. We have it in the sleep time, we have it by itself. Women usually take more. And sometimes people will recommend it for cancer or immune function because it crosses the blood-brain barrier, sometimes at 20 to 30 milligrams. So depending on the person, you may need higher levels of melatonin.
I heard it's master hormone.
Yeah. It's one of them. You know, sometimes we'll call DHEA or, testosterone. Yeah. I don't know, how many do you take? Is it working? You may want to try the sleep time. I think that'll work good for you too.
So it's possible to go up to like 30 in certain.
I said some docs recommend it for some cancer patients, yeah. We generally recommend 3 to 10 milligrams for most people. Guys usually need less, but everyone's different.
Well, my grandma, since she's been off the Ambien, she's tried everything. She still can't sleep. Has a horrible
Sleep time.
Yeah, she's
1,
tries
2,
all the
3,
time,
4.
A few milligrams. It doesn't work.
Use the sleep time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1 a day for a day. If that don't work, go to 2 a day. If that doesn't work, go to 3 a day. If not, go to 4. Yeah.
What kind of cancer was it? You said the doctors recommend 30.
Any cancer, yeah.
3, and melatonin, that's for 3?
The SR3 means sustained release 3 milligram. Because some people take melatonin and they wake up in the middle of the night. Yeah, because you're running out of it. And the other thing to realize is that your body cannot stimulate melatonin unless what? You're in darkness. So shut the TV off, right? And I'm guilty of it too. You know, you watch something that helps you fall asleep, but then you wake up and the TV's on. It's like, that thing's buzzing away, right? So TV, computers, even if the computer's in the room. Mask is great. Yeah. So it really helps and makes a big difference when you get that quality of sleep. We have some other options if people need magnesium, minerals, relaxation, and sleep tinctures. These are all the samples up here, including the melatonin. Yeah, it's minerals, especially if you have restless legs, cramps, spasms, those types of things. Well, you guys were a great group. Any questions?
Thank you, you were very good.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Got one more thing to hand out for you, okay?